Hello everyone, welcome to ZNG Classroom. I'm Jolene. Today we are going to learn about function characters. Now let's start. So we are going to talk about whether the graph is positive or negative, or if it has a increasing or decreasing trend. How do we judge whether the graph is increasing or not? Well, the answer is we should find its gradient. Here is a vertical straight line. If another straight line looks like this, its gradient is positive. That means it's increasing. And if there's another straight line looks like this, its gradient is negative. Then that shows it's decreasing. Now let's look at the graph. First, from -9 to -5, the gradient here is positive, so it's increasing. And from -5 to -2, the gradient is negative, so it's decreasing. From -2 to 5, the gradient here is positive, so that means the graph here is increasing. Then we know that the increasing parts are from -9 to -5 and from -2 to 5. And we only have one decreasing part, that is from -5 to -2. And next, how do we find the positive and negative part of the graph? Well, we should treat x-axis as a boundary. The graph above x-axis is positive, and the graph under x-axis is negative. So the positive part is here and here. And the negative part is this part and this part. Therefore, the positive part is from almost -7.5 to -3.5, as well as from 1 to positive infinity. The negative part is from -infinity to -7.5 and from -3.5 to 1. Now let's turn to exercise 2. We should use the same method to deal with exercise 2. So from -8 to -6, the gradient is negative, so it is decreasing. From -6 to -2, the gradient is positive, so it's increasing. From -2 to 3, the gradient is negative, so it's decreasing. And from 3 to 8, it's increasing. Hence, the increasing parts are from -6 to -2, and from 3 to 8. The decreasing parts are from -8 to -6, as well as from -2 to 3. And then draw the boundary line first. And now we can know that here and here are positive parts, and here is the negative part. So the positive part is from -infinity to -7.5, and from 7 to positive infinity. In this graph, we only have one negative part, that is from -7.5 to 7. That's it. Now let's move to exercise 3. in these kinds of exercises, we will use the same method. Here, from -7 to -3, the gradient is negative, so it's decreasing. From -3 to 2, the gradient is positive, so it's increasing. From 2 to 4, it's decreasing. And from 4 to 9, the gradient is positive, so it's increasing. So the part between -3 to 2 and from 4 to 9, these two parts are increasing. And from -7 to -3 and 2 to 4, these two parts are decreasing. There are three parts above the x-axis. So this is the first positive part, and this is the second one. This is the third one. And here is the first negative part, and here is the second negative part. So the correct side here is from -infinity to -5, and from -2 to 3, and 7 to positive infinity. The negative parts are from -5 to -2, as well as from 3 to 7. And now the last one, exercise 4. From -9 to -7, the gradient here is positive, so it's increasing. And here's a special point is that from -7 to -1, although the gradient in this part is smaller than this part, but it's still positive. So that means the graph is increasing in this part as well, between -7 to -1. And from -1 to 2, the gradient is negative, so it's decreasing. And from 2 to 7, the gradient is negative, so it's also decreasing. And from 7 to 9, it's increasing. So the increasing parts are from -9 to -7, and from -7 to -1, and from 7 to 9. Pay attention here. This part and this part, we can combine them together. So the final answer will be like from -9 to -1, and from 7 to 9. The decreasing part is from -1 to 2, and from 2 to 7. We can also combine these two sets, so it's going to be like from -1 to 7. And this is the only decreasing part in this graph. Here's the boundary line, and we will find that this is the first positive part, and this is the second one. And here is negative, and here is negative as well. So positive is from almost -8 to 1, and from 8 to positive infinity. And here is from -infinity to -8, and from 1 to 8. So now is the end of my class. Thank you for listening. I'm Jolene. I hope to see you in my next episode.